welcome to another video from me. I am the Incessant Bookworm and welcome to my channel. If you haven't already watched it, check out my most beautiful books I own video where I go through my shelves behind me and pick out some of my prettiest books, ones that I bought maybe because of the cover. Yes, I judge a book by cover sometimes, but I just like the beauty of it and to add it to my library and see if I have read them or not. Also, I am over on social media if you want to follow me. Now on TikTok, woot woot, if that shows how old I am with that, and my excitement for joining a probably mostly young demographic channel, then there you go. But I'm also over on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where I post a lot more bookish content, more so than on my YouTube channel. All right, so we are coming to the close of summer and almost starting the fall season. I know I'm like thinking of pumpkin spice already, which is a little bit far out, but one of the breweries in Cincinnati just shared that they're going to release their, I think it's like a pumpkin ale or something like that in the next few weeks, and I'm so excited about it. I let my friends know, and we're going to go there in the next week or so and pick up some of that and like eat some pizza and just hang out for like a happy hour. So I'm already thinking of the fall, but that also means lots of books are in store as I start thinking about going back to school and just all the books I haven't read yet, the ones that I've acquired, all the bookish goodness for what is now my August TBR. So as you can see, this is an epic TBR. I usually don't have this many books in or at least this many print books. I have combos of print and audio, but these I am dedicating mainly to print. I didn't even look at what I'm going to be looking at for audiobook. Maybe I'll pull up my Libby app and see where I'm at with my holds and where I am in the queue, and maybe pick out ones I think I'm going to get to or will be given to me or lent to me in the month of August, so we can go through that. But at least this is an epic pile, y'all. Yeah, so I will give the preface that there are a lot of fun things happening this month. So one, by the time you're watching this, I am still in Florida. So I am traveling down there with my boyfriend and we are having just a random vacation, I guess. It was supposed to be going to London for the London Landmarks Half Marathon, and that unfortunately because of international like COVID and travel restrictions not able to happen without a lot of hoops to jump through to be able to make it happen, and I just didn't want that stress or anxiety just to run a race in one of my favorite cities and one that I would want to explore more. So that thankfully I've been deferred to next year, so next April hopefully I'll be able to go to London, but I already had that time off, so just picked a city. I really wanted a beach. We're going to the beach, lots of bookstores, all that fun stuff. Some of these books I will be reading while I'm down there. So we have the beach books. We also have my reading retreat is happening this month where I have a bunch of books for that set up. There is the Dewey's 24-hour reverse readathon, which is happening this month. And then I think there's something, oh yeah, I have like general TBR books for the month of August. There might be something else. I made sticky notes on top of all the books and it just lists out what I'll be reading for each like event. There might be something else, but as I go through, I'll probably jog my memory and remember. But yes, so how many do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Wow, that's not a lucky number at all. So 13 books. And we're gonna go through these pretty quickly because 13 could take a long time. Maybe I'll give some context of where I got them from and why I picked them up, but there might be some that I don't remember the plot of, and I will list them below. So maybe if you want to dive into them deeper, feel free to look into that, but I'll go based off what I remember. So first off, we have the Dewey's 24-hour reverse readathon. So this starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, or actually 8 p.m. whatever your time is in the world, and goes for 24 hours to the following day at 8 p.m. So that usually the Dewey's readathon starts at 8 a.m. and goes to the following 8 a.m. and I like that one because I am a morning person. I can get a lot of reading done then, but this one will be interesting since I'll start at night. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done at 8 p.m. before I go to bed, because I go to bed, or my brain, I guess, stops working or doesn't think as critically past 8 p.m. So we'll see how long I am able to survive that night, and then I'll do majority, obviously, of the reading the next day. So I picked shorter books for this because that's kind of the idea, is to get as much done as you would like, but also kind of retain what you're reading, and I think quick, short books will do the trick for that. First book I have for that is The Queen's Gambit by Walter Tevis. So this, of course, blew up with the Queen's Gambit show on Netflix in, I think it came out around November, December time, and I absolutely loved the story. And I don't know how much of the adaptation from the book to the series is loyal or creative freedom or whatever, but I think this is exceptional. And I've dove back into chess and have like an app on my phone that I play once in a while. So I think this will be fantastic and a nice short read to get through for Deweys. We also have The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. So this I heard about on the Slightly Foxed podcast, which is the Fox Quarterly, I guess, print subscription over in England, and they do a lot of books that have either been backlisted or like authors that you might not have heard of and just want to bring and reemerge into the world. So one of their episodes talked about supernatural, like horror, classic fiction, and this one came up, and I think this is a bunch of short stories, and it's also very small. So I've had this from the library for a while. Thankfully nobody has asked for it, or I'd have to return it by now, but this will be another quick read that I should be able to get done in a day. And finally, for the Dewey's Reverse Readathon, I have CQ, A Journey Through American Loneliness by Kristen Radtke, and this is a graphic novel, which I think is going to be phenomenal. I haven't read too many graphic novels, but I think this topic, especially during quarantine and folks' mental health kind of being at jeopardy and at stake, I think this will be an amazing read, and beautiful that it's going to be in such beautiful graphics and illustrations and everything. So that I think will be enjoyable and also insightful. Then we have my reading retreat. So this will be, I moved it to a bed and breakfast. So now breakfast will literally be covered, and this place that I found will also have a wine reception. So amazing way to read books is with a nice breakfast in the morning, and then read in like the living room or like out in the woods, and then come back for a nice glass of wine and sit on the porch and watch the sunset. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for it. So with this reading retreat, the goal is to read and then also take in the scenery, visit some bookstores, but majority of the time I will be reading these books. Hopefully I will get to all of them. If not, then I think it's gonna be an enjoyable experience just to get out and read books and not be distracted by things around my house, things that I feel like I need to get done, which I feel like is a lot of my distractions lately. Even working from home, I don't know, I find myself like itching to get other stuff done, and it makes me so stressed. So this going to be as much tech-free as possible, but I will give more details and also film a reading vlog for when that happens. But to give you a taste of what I'll be reading, we have Passing by Nella Larson, and this I picked up from the Cincy Book Bus. So this I talked to Melanie, who is the owner of the book bus, since I have been, I don't know, I just enjoy reading about mixed race individuals and like how it's a struggle really, or what that experience is like to be quote unquote passing in society as white, or whatever the majority is in the place that you are residing or the community that you belong to. So this I think is one of the classic books of what that experience is like. She also recommended to me The Personal Librarian, which was another story of I think it was a true story of passing in like under somebody who's like really rich and famous and the librarian of those folks. So yeah, I am excited to read this. I think this will also be very insightful and pretty short book as well. Then I can't have a retreat cabin woods experience without a murder mystery, which I'm probably going to scare myself half to death with, but we're going to do it anyway. So we have 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson, and this I heard about on the Currently Reading podcast. So when I was listening to that podcast, I was looking out for authors I hadn't heard of, genres I wasn't really familiar with, and this one hit both of those marks. And that I think in the world of like murder mystery, investigative murder mystery, whatever, Peter Swanson is a bigger name, but I particularly haven't heard of him before. So yeah, I believe this is a book about books kind of murder mystery as well, which I think just adds another layer to it that I'm really excited about. Another thriller, why not? We're gonna add to the reading retreat is The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. And this I believe is a psychological thriller. And this I think I found in a little free library, either right down the block or when I was in Florida last in April. So I don't remember. I know it was a Little Free Library, I just don't remember which one. But yeah, this was also a Reese's book club pick. Cool, that's exciting. So yeah, I think I've heard of Ruth Ware before, but I think this is my first book that I've read by her. I also have The Woman in Cabin 10 by her, but I haven't read it yet. So maybe once I'm done reading this, I can pick up that and enjoy more of this mystery psychological thriller realm. And then finally we have All the Ever Afters by Danielle Teller. So this is the untold story of Cinderella's stepmother. So I think this is going to be fascinating. I picked this up because my friend Liz at Read by the Color on Instagram, and I went to the Cincy Friends of the Public Library, and it's kind of like a used book warehouse in Cincinnati that is ginormous, and she thought this would be one I'd be interested in, and I am definitely intrigued. So yeah, I haven't really dug too much into fairy tales, but I love when stories do like backstories or like alternative stories of what we've come to know. So I think this will be really cool. All right, so being in Florida, these are going to be my beach reads. We have Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. So this is the sequel or the second book in the Poppy War trilogy, and I read the Poppy War, I think it was earlier this year. I'd gotten that copy from the Book Loft and read that. I think it was, I don't even know, what month are we in? I think it was earlier this year or maybe in the fall, I can't remember. But I loved it. I love the incorporation of Asian history and Asian culture, and then just the beautiful storytelling, the character development was just fantastic. So this I picked up at Joseph Beth, and I wanted it because it matched my other paperback covers, but the third book, Burning God, I think is still in hardback, or if it's in paperback, it's in a different style, so I want to wait to get on that. But I think I am enjoying the series enough that I will want all 3 books. So is that on my, I should probably add that to my wish list. I have a wish list on Bookshop. Feel free to check that out for any recommendations or things that I'm itching to get in the near future. So yes, this will be either starting on the plane or reading throughout my time on the beach. Then we have The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and this is the same author as The Silent Patient. I've talked about this book a few other times on my channel, but I think this will be a good one to read at the beach as well, but it's also getting me into the like collegiate, almost ready for school kind of vibe, since I think it's a group of students who who are murdered by the same, or thought to be murdered by the same professor, and I think somebody comes in and is starting to notice a trend. I think that'll be interesting as well. And then finally we have my general August TBR books that I will fit in when I'm not on vacation or doing a reading retreat or having the reverse readathon. So hopefully I have time to read these as well. But one of them is my reading vlog pick for August. And that is I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. So this is a book that Cincy Book Bus also recommended to me. This is a book that she always keeps on her bus or in her shelves, and one I think she reads every single year. So this I am excited to read as well. I think the cover is really like classic and beautiful. So yeah, we will see how that goes. Then we have Recursion by Blake Crouch. So I'd already read Dark Matter by him and absolutely loved it. It was one of our book club picks way back in the day. I think it was like a few years ago when we first started our book club in the Cincinnati area, so which has since been disbanded, but we're like friends and everything, but we just don't read books or anything like that, but we can talk about them. We just don't have a formal book club for it. So anyway, I am excited for another like twisty, mind-bending sci-fi kind of novel, and I'm excited to see where this one takes me. All right, I'm ready to get my heart ripped out with A Little Life by Hanya Yanigihara, and this, I think there's another book by this author coming out very shortly. I think I saw it on their Instagram page or something like that, but this I've heard is an emotional roller coaster. Get the tissues ready and this is one that I worry I won't be able to finish in, not that I won't be able to finish it, but I don't want to speed through this because it is very chunky and because it's very emotionally draining from what I've heard. I want to take my time with it. That's why when I had asked for my reading retreat if I should choose smaller books or one long book, most of y'all picked a bunch of shorter books. So if I was to do one long book, it probably would have been this one because I could spend time with it and not be thinking about other things. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get to this one, but I will do my best. Finally, we have On Beauty by Zadie Smith, and this I think I've also had in a TBR a few months ago, but I'm bringing it back onto my shelf. I was looking through and seeing what was something that I kind of was excited about and then like put it away for a little bit. So I picked this up when the Cincy Friends did a Black History in Books event. It was like a Bookstagram event, and we were having like discussions in small groups about Black History Month, about representation in books and things like that, and this one came up as one that I should read, so I picked that up. So excited. Also love the minimalist cover. It's very intriguing and inviting to want me to want to know what it's about even further and to dive into it. So there's that. Okay, we are done. 13 books. Let me see on my Libby app. So while I've been recording this, I just got a notification that The Lions of Fifth Avenue is now ready for me to borrow. At the moment I am reading Written in the Stars, and then I think another one, oh, Anna K Away just came up as well. Oh my gosh. What am I gonna do? Let's see. So those two are both ready. Written in the Stars is what by the time you're watching this, I probably would have finished it by now. And then let's see what else is in the queue. So we have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. So that should be available a few days before this video comes out. And then One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The Other Black Girl. And then the Plot. So, oh my gosh, and another one too. Oh my gosh. Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. While Justice Sleeps by Stacey Abrams, Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean, and then these might come, it says within 4 weeks, so these might come. I don't think I'll get to them. The Final Revival of Opal and Nev by Donnie Walton, and Clara and the Sun. So there's so many books. Oh my gosh. And then not to mention, I will probably be picking up books as we speak at in Florida when I visit some bookstores there. So I'm proud of myself for the amount of, except for one book here, The Bloody Chamber is the only library book in this selection. I'm super proud that I am picking books that are on my shelf, since that has been one of my goals, is to try to minimize as much as possible, but then that doesn't help when I start buying other books. Yikes, we'll see. Wish me luck. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed going through these, and it's exciting to see my potentials. Like I had mentioned, this is probably my largest TBR to date that I have shared, so if, as always, subject to change, something might happen, come up, or I add something else in, take some away. I don't know. We shall see. Any guesses? Leave them below in the comments of which ones you think I'll actually finish, or what you'll be reading for this month of August as well. Feel free to like this video, hit subscribe, and the notification bell to know when I post next. I usually post on Mondays, and then I'm also on my social media channels like I had mentioned. Also in the description below, I have all the books that I mentioned today, my social media accounts, as well as my bookshop wish list if you want to take a look there. But yes, I hope everyone has a fantastic August, getting ready for the end of summer, start of fall. Yes. And I will talk to you later, and have a great day. Happy reading!